Joining me now is psychotherapist Noel McDermott, who has looked at the impact of these emotions, specifically on fathers, and the importance of keeping communication open. Welcome to you. Good morning. Why do we have to be particularly concerned about fathers during the pandemic?
I think it's well known that in general guys tend not to have pretty complex and extended support networks, and where those support networks do exist, they tend to exist in the types of activities which we can't do during the lockdown, getting involved in going to sports matches, etc., or maybe going down the pub. And so all those traditional support networks for guys have been pulled out. And I think also it's still the case that men tend to be the larger breadwinners in families, and then having that sort of role threatened by the current lockdown measures and furlough, etc., is adding pressure. So you've got this lack of support, and also you've got this sort of challenge to identity and traditional ways of expressing your role within a family, for example. There's also, it tends to be, guys, if there are separated parents and non-resident parents, for example, in families, it will tend to be men, and that's or the fathers, and that's putting extra pressures, I think, on fathers who are non-resident in terms of getting access during these times, because of course there's worries. Although legally you're allowed it, there are worries, of course, and the resident parent may be quite worried about having contact outside of the house. So I think there's a range of pressures there specific to fathers, and they are on top of the pressures that exist for all parents. And I think this time at the moment, I would say for all parents is a challenge if you're having to turn your home into an office and a school as well as home at the same time. That's a real challenge, and the longer it goes on, the more that we have the incidence of problems. We have had, unfortunately, news from the police, for example, that things such as domestic violence is on the rise, which was, I suppose, to be expected. And also, and I think this is, again, pertaining to men, the increased consumption of alcohol. And those two things are actually linked. Excessive alcohol use does lead to violence, particularly in a sort of domestic setting.
And unfortunately, I was just going to say, how do fathers, men, actually realise that something is going wrong? What are the signals? What are the triggers to look out for?
The general signs and symptoms of psychological distress are significant changes in mood. So if you're generally one way and you suddenly find that your mood is going another way, maybe to depressed or the opposite into manic. So significant changes in sleep patterns, significant changes in sleep patterns, problems around appetite, for example, changes in concentration, irritability and annoyance and losing your temper much more, and isolation, withdrawal. Those types of things are the classic signs that any human being is struggling. So if you see those types of signs in yourself or somebody that you love, then you really need to be sort of thinking about what's going on and what sort of help you might need in terms of challenging some.
What potentially you can do about it.
Absolutely. There's lots of help available. There's still, mental health services still exist. Many people in terms of private sector psychotherapists and also within the NHS have gone online. So all of that is available. And it may be that all you need is a one-off session with somebody just to talk about the sort of lifestyle changes that you can make. Now, the sort of lifestyle changes you can make are very simple, very straightforward. They are: talk to people. That's the number one thing to do, is to get on the phone and start talking to people. Get in touch with your mates who you used to go down for a drink with and start talking to. It may feel alien at first, but it really, really will help. Exercise is absolutely crucial. We have the right to get out the house, probably from Sunday more than once a day. Get out to do exercise and get out in the fresh air. Go to a local park if you can. That will boost your mood fantastically. Get into a normal sleep pattern.
No.
Don't get into a holiday.
All very good advice. Thank you so much for that. It's good to talk, and it's been good to talk to you, Noel McDermott. Thank you very much for sharing your expertise with us this morning.